Warnings and damage as a tornado rolls through the area, leaving behind damage in several areas.
Yeah, the strength of that storm left people in places like Fairfield and Inslee digging through debris. Some of them sustained injuries. Right now, the National Weather Service is talking about that damage in our area. We're going to take you live to where they are. Lee Garner is standing by as well in that area. Let's hear what he has to say. This is Kevin Laws with the National Weather Service.
Can you start to give us an idea of what you guys have seen out here today?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Hey, I'm Kevin Laws. I'm the Chief Scientist at the National Weather Service office in Birmingham. We've been out here for about an hour so far, preliminary looking here in the Fairfield area. This is about the maximum damage that we have behind me here at the ABC store and the Kentucky Fried Chicken. There's also a strip mall down here. We've seen walls that have been collapsed here at the ABC store and also at the oil change exchange here as well. KFC also had a damaged wall exterior, so that's all leading me to believe this is going to be about a mid-range EF2, which is considerable damage. So it's EF2 120 miles an hour. Again, we'll have to wait until we do the entire survey, which may take a couple of days. Our teams probably may not be out tomorrow. We still have weather to deal with, so there's still a lot of weather in the area. We'll have to get all that behind us, and so it may be the weekend or first of next week until we can go this entire track. But at least right here in the Fairfield area, we're looking at 120 miles an hour, which is an EF2, pretty considerable damage. From what I understand, we've had 3 injuries, 3 people transported, minor injuries, so it looks like everybody at least heeded the warning, got to safety. Everybody knew this storm was coming as part of a tropical storm or Cindy, at least on those outer rain bands. Sometimes we have these quick spin-up tornadoes. Sometimes they're a little bit stronger, like they were here today. So so far that's what we've got, and again, we'll be doing the full assessment in the days to come.
Could we have a repeat performance tomorrow?
It could be. We're certainly anticipating at least maybe more warnings, more watches tomorrow. They may be a little further north, but we're at least in central Alabama. I think everybody needs to continue to be weather aware through at least tomorrow.
Can you estimate how long the track of the storm?
Haven't seen that yet. It's going to be several miles at least. From what I understand, it started down near the Fairfield Fire Station, but it goes up into Inslee, so it's going to be, like I said, a few days until we can fully get that information to you.
And how can you estimate the 120-mile-an-hour winds based on what you've seen so far?
The damage indicators that we have here, when you get to the EF2 range, you start seeing things like power poles that are snapped, which we have here. And we also have exterior walls that are collapsed on a lot of these structures that are fairly well built. So once you get into that range, you start to get into that mid-range EF2 at least. So,
given that you said 3 minor injuries, looking at this damage, it almost seems like that's unbelievable.
It does, and it just goes to the obviously the power of Mother Nature, but obviously the fact that everybody's been promoting this for several days. Everybody was anticipating it, so when everybody's weather aware, it makes the safety campaign a lot easier for us, for sure.
That's Kevin Laws over here giving us the latest update.
Okay,
Again, Kevin Laws with the National Weather Service. We have been out here in the Fairfield area all day, keeping you posted on these circumstances. We want to recap some of what they just told us. Likely an EF2 tornado out here, 120-mile-per-hour winds. They are continuing to survey the damage, and they don't really know when they'll be able to get a full report because the reports are continuing to come in. We might have more storms this evening. They're just keeping an eye on the situation, as we will. We're going to send it back to you in the studio, but we will check back in a little bit later on in the show. For now, live in Fairfield, Lee Garner, CBS 42 News, local coverage you can count on.